Hello, everyone, and welcome to the sultry sounds
This sounds like
of PH.
it sounds like
Damn.
a yoga retreat or something. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
We're all here to find ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna try.
The pod-
Hiya. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to mood myself. Like I'm trying to raise.
Oh,
the
you're
mood.
trying to get like
Hi. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
the
Go on.
podcast for damned PhD students, those who wish to become damned PhD
Nobody wishes
students,
to become a damn PhD.
and those who were raised by wolves.
What?
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't know what to say. And today I was like, when I read that email that I got today, I was like,
Yeah.
was this person raised by a wolf? And so I was just like, yeah. Anyway, hi.
Hi.
I am one of your hosts, Marissa.
Why are you saying it like that? Okay. I am Pragya.
Lara. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm here. Hi.
Imagine if this is the first time someone's listening to us.
Yeah.
And they see your energies that. That would be so shocking.
As it always is.
No.
Today we're going to do a mental health check. Laura, how are you?
I think we always do that, but okay. I'm sorry. I'm like in a really weird mood.
Same.
I just have a lot of things to do and they're piling up and I can't be bothered. And I'm like, just need to just get going and get everything done because I'm kind of tired. It's exciting though because the symposium is getting a bit more formed and I'm inviting people and organizing rooms and catering and shit like that. So it's a bit more practical than I'm just
Amazing.
theorizing in my brain.
But it's tangible. So,
Yeah, it's more tangible, so it's nice, but it's also really complicated because it's like a million people emailing each other and people coming
Yeah.
and I need to book them in hotels and like, I don't know what the fuck, it's too much shit. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this as part of my PhD, but I think it's okay. That's it. I don't know what else to say.
It's really innovative. So
Why
I
are
love
you
it.
clapping?
I don't know. I'm feeling very wellness.
You're feeling very
Today.
wellness. I feel like I
You know
want
what
to
I
kick
mean?
someone's face. Like I want to punch someone. I don't know why.
Calm
Okay.
down. Breathe in. Remember, Matthias is a
Yeah, this is very weird to me.
breathe out. What did he say? Imagine you're climbing a mountain.
Um,
Imagine that mountain is your husband.
okay. We are climbing mountains because we live in Oh, we can't say that, can we?
We say that all
Oh,
the
we live in
time.
Sheffield, so it's all. I am always climbing a mountain.
Pragya, how is your mental health?
I think it's way better than the last 2 weeks. But since the time I've done the last episode, I think it's definitely gone downhill since then. Yeah, I think I've just like gotten into really doing the last bit of my PhD, which is basically analyzing and writing. And it's like, it's difficult.
It's really hard to-
It's very overwhelming. And yeah, physically, I've been really tired. Like I think physically, because I'm so tired, my mental health is going worse.
Right.
Because I moved to a new house and like there's
How is it?
always work all the fucking time. Like in
With
the
the
sense
house?
that because like we are still creating like
Space.
nice spaces and like there's like beds to dismantle, there's like
God.
mattresses to clean, there's always housework, and then at the office there's always academic work. And everything is just happening at the same time, and I just want to like fucking have a day when can I say fucking? Okay.
Yes.
And just stare at the ceiling. That is one of my favorite things to do, and I just want to stare at the ceiling for a day. And
Can I add something? I think part of my anger is also going towards the university and this whole restructure situation that is going on and all the bullshit that come with it.
yeah,
For context, the university is having a restructure. There's no context.
Yes, go on, explain.
Departments and stuff. I have no idea what it is because I don't care enough.
So why are you
piss.
explaining?
Huh? I don't know. You told me to explain.
Okay. But basically, a lot of departments that were separate are merging into joint schools.
Yeah.
Which then means that positions change, bureaucracy changes, the way that things happen change. And there's a lot of things coming with it. And the university trying to cut a lot of money from different places that they say that will never affect you, but it will definitely affect you.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's a bit frustrating to see, to witness.
Very frustrating. Thank you.
Your top feels really nice. Okay. My mental health. I feel like the way you guys feel, I felt yesterday.
Okay.
And the day before.
Okay.
And
What
then
changed
I
today?
slept for 8 hours and 30 minutes. I haven't slept for more than like 5.5 hours in like months. So I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be rested. So I rested, and I felt very social yesterday, which was not good. So I came home and I didn't really speak to anyone, and that was really nice.
Who do you have to speak to?
I just spoke to people yesterday. Like I came into the office and all of that because I haven't been in the office for a while because I have my computer and everything set up, so I don't need to come in anymore.
Yeah.
I have my screen. I have everything I need. So I'm like, I came in yesterday because I was like, you shouldn't be a hermit. You're going to get used to this. And then I was just like, oh my God, there's so many people and things. And I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And me too. I did my PhD timeline for the rest of the PhD. And when I looked at every work I have to, like all the work I have to do every month, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I don't even want to think about it.
But that's why I don't have time to think about things like restructures. I need to think about finishing this shit so it can be done and I can leave and I can continue my life how it was supposed to be with money
Yes.
and joy and flat land.
Flat land, okay.
Yeah.
You hate Sheffield that much?
I hate hills.
Yeah, I feel that, but yeah.
I feel like this is the worst time to have this episode. Okay. Or maybe it's the best time.
Yeah, maybe it's the best time.
Because we were saying that we become really depressing in this podcast, and we need to be a bit more happy.
That's,
But we're
if you
really
can't
not
see
in the
me.
mood, so I don't know how that
Yeah,
will
that's
go.
what I mean. Like, I don't know if this week is the best week, but we're doing a red and green flag episode. So I'll leave. Should I leave you to explain it?
We
Because I
have
feel
like-
I can't explain.
yeah.
So, Marissa/ChatGPT has collected a number of statements that we will pick randomly and read out. And the statements are obviously related to our PhD lives or work or whatever the hell. I don't know. I have not read them. And then we will all separately decide if this is a green flag, a red flag,
Oh my God!
or a beige flag.
Huh?
For anyone that doesn't know, what is a green flag? I guess everyone knows what a green flag is.
It's something that is good for you.
No, it's like a positive sign.
experience.
Yes. And then a red flag is more like,
A negative experience or something that is toxic.
isn't it more like
Employ caution. I don't know.
if this situation happens, it tells you that there is something negative about whatever, about the people involved or whatever, right? Yeah, something like that.
A lot of people use
Yeah.
it for people to. We say that, this person is such a red flag.
Yeah,
Especially
exactly.
for heterosexual men. But
And what is a beige flag? According to Google, it is an odd or quirky characteristic, but not one that is innately good or bad. So
Okay.
it's something that raises a flag, but it's not necessarily good or bad, but you
Yeah.
need to watch out.
Yeah, see what
Yeah.
happens.
Like to see what happens. And I would say that we should try not to use the beige flag except if completely necessary.
And I also
Yeah, like
think
if
we
we
should be
just don't know.
provocative. As in, we can't be like, oh yeah, all of us think it's a.
No, so we're gonna do it. I think we should do it with our eyes closed.
Yeah. Not
Oh.
no, maybe
Like when we actually lift them up.
Okay.
Or like just
Or maybe we choose, we have them here and then...
like, you know your flags, you know where they are.
Well, I'll try being controversial, and I'll try being. I don't know what to say. Like,
Don't be controversial for controversial's sake.
okay.
Don't be like the
Okay.
devil's advocate.
Wow.
Okay, I might
Kim
need to move
Kardashian.
some cables.
What? That was controversial.
Okay.
How dare you? Are you ready?
I think so.
Oh, so we have 10 statements, and you guys are gonna give me a number.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So who's gonna give me a number first, Bagya?
Sure. Number 2, because that's my favorite number. Also, just wanna tell people who are watching us that we've tried dressing up as like the flags.
I feel like they tried dressing
that
up.
was-
You have a beige
You should show
thing.
your pants. Get
Or
up.
your beige thing.
Okay.
Okay, it's not really beige, but
No, she has a beige jacket.
oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
This is beige.
okay.
Okay, I'll sit down now.
Yeah.
This is a good clip. Wait, let me put it back nicely.
If you're not watching the podcast and you're just listening, then you miss out on something great.
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
watching podcast. I'm incredibly sorry.
We should put it on YouTube.
I
Okay.
mean, this episode is a watching episode.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably.
But we will say
Probably.
we'll say what colors we
Chose. Okay.
chose as well.
Yeah. Okay.
For those who cannot see the podcast
Yeah.
for various types of reasons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this number 2 is the statement you chose. You're asked to assist a professor on a research project, but they expect you to work more than 20 hours per week on top of your coursework. Okay. Should we do 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Duh. Like,
I think for me it's very personal actually.
Oh, wait.
because-
This is so obvious, by the way. Who would say that?
Right.
This is maybe,
we all chose red flags.
Yes.
Oh,
Those who
yes,
could not
we all
see.
There was
chose
3 red flags.
red
3 of them, yeah.
This is definitely more personal in the sense that because I identify myself as a Marxist, and I think people should have good work culture, and exploiting labor for the sake of not just profit but for anything is wrong. But that was a very good question, Lara, when you said that. Who would say that this is okay? I have actually met people who would say this. I once met someone in a party, and then she was South Asian, and I'm South Asian, and we come from the same culture, I guess. And then she was saying how she spends a lot of time in the library after her daily work. She's a PhD student, to complete her studies and everything. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, but you shouldn't do it. You know, you should work till you're, like 6 or something. And then you should go home and chill. Or maybe after 6, like you should have resting time in your day.
Yeah.
That's what I said. And then she was like, but a really good researcher would not say something like that. They would work to their full potential. And I don't know what that means. But she basically said that she's a really good researcher because she works beyond her working hours. And that is like, and she was also criticizing the British culture of people switching off from work, which in South Asia is way less. People would work after their working hours, and that is seen as a mark of doing good work. Going beyond your work hours to do work is seen as something that is you're morally superior than other people who switch off after a point. So yeah,
The LinkedIn mentality.
yes,
As I like to call it.
Oh my
work
God,
hard.
no.
I hate LinkedIn. so
Work
much.
hard.
I hate
and-
LinkedIn and I hate this hustle culture. It's
Yeah.
it's what the actual fuck? Can we please chill? We have a life.
I think for me, I don't care if you believe that for yourself, because that's a you problem. Go
Okay.
talk to your therapist about that. Don't expect me to do it though.
Okay.
That's my thing, because I'm not. I'm always gonna rest. I even rest when I'm at work. So
I do disagree with that because I think if someone else creates that culture, it becomes
themselves.
but it becomes expected of others. So it happened in one of my workplaces where someone would do something like this, and they were called the Powerpuff Girl. And then there was this entire idea of like rewarding them with like all kinds of compliments and all of these, or maybe more opportunities because they were working beyond their work times. Whereas there were some of my colleagues and I would just like be like, no, I'm not going to work after this. And we would never, our work would not be acknowledged. So I think there is a shared responsibility of like not like creating a better, healthier work culture, not like,
but like I think
thinking individually.
In my experience, that's never been the case. The person who works the hardest never gets rewarded the most. It's the person that is seen the most that gets rewarded the most.
Okay.
So, yeah, don't bring that around here. Is what I'm trying to say. Like, so yeah, I don't know. I've never cared to work hard for anyone, even for myself. So if I'm not working hard for myself, why am I working hard for you?
I guess I was so fast to raise the red flag, but I think I am like the type of person that whatever I'm involved in, I try to work hard. Not I try to work hard. Even if I try to not work hard, I like, because I'm such a perfectionist, I'll try to do really well and work really hard, right? But that doesn't always relate to time for me. It's also about mental effort and energy that I put into something, right? It might that I need more hours to do something that is more like absent-minded and like whatever, you're just like doing the same thing over and over again. Or something needs less hours, but you need to be like there and you need to put effort and take decisions and stuff like that. And I think it does really sound exciting when you're first, like especially in your first year or two, if you're a PhD student, for like a famous professor to come to you and want you to be involved in a research project. So I'd see a lot of people that would be like, yay, opportunities. And it's true because it goes in your CV, you make connections, you network and stuff like that. But expecting you to work for really like 20 hours is basically a part-time job in a week, right? If a 40-hour week and they expect you to work a part-time job, that's not okay, especially without being paid. We haven't talked about payment. So if it's paid and you choose to do it, and it's completely up to you to choose to do it, and you choose so, it's like your fault. But if it's like your supervisor and they're expecting you to, they create this environment that everyone needs to work for them and like be involved with a million different projects and not get extra paid or get credits, then that's like a big problem.
Interesting.
But yeah, that's another thing actually. I was going to say this to you, but I forgot. When you was like, I'm a Marxist and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, you are in the wrong place. Because especially you're in the wrong place at the wrong level to be a Marxist.
Okay.
Because academia is very exploitative of people's labor.
Yes.
Constantly, especially PGRs.
Yes.
Sorry, postgraduate researchers. They expect us to do things for free. They expect us to drop stuff on a whim all the time. And that goes back to what you were saying in that it's like, oh, I'm working for a famous professor and da-da-da-da-da. That famous professor is going to use the fact that they are a famous professor and you are nothing to make you do stuff.
So why is it wrong for Pragya to be a Marxist? Is that a right place? Because
no,
that's
I'm
where
saying
isn't there even a better place?
No, but that's why I'm saying it's wrong because you're one person and this place is evil. Like, it's not going to work.
I don't understand that.
It's like, I'm saying it's a highly exploitative place.
Every place is a highly exploitative.
This is a place that celebrates being highly exploitative.
So does a factory.
Not like academia. As someone who has been in industry and outside, industry will pretend it's not exploitative, right? And give you benefits to make you feel like they're not exploitative. Academia will tell you it's exploitative and tell you to clap. That's the difference.
I don't
100%. And that's why I'm like, this is the worst. These are places where you get Marxist scholars and they all create a culture that is so anti-Marxist. It makes no sense. So capitalist here. Yes, they do the research and then they do nothing in their life to change the actual environment.
I absolutely disagree.
100%.
No. There are people who do that. I'm not saying that there are not like people who don't. There are people who just theoretically read Marx and go back to their houses and probably do not care about any labor relation. But that doesn't... Are you saying that I am that person?
No, I'm not saying you're that person.
Okay.
I'm saying this is like a really terrible environment.
Absolutely. There are different kinds of people, and different kinds of people use theory different way. And that's for me, it's like, it is the place to be. And it is the place to intervene And I can say things like, yes, like I can come up to someone who teaches Marxist theory and be like, oh, you're not doing anything. Like I know people who teach Marxist theory and they can't show up to the picket lines, you know.
I know people who show up to the picket lines and then do the same thing that they hate being done to them to PGRs.
Absolutely.
Do you see what I mean? Like,
and
I'm
goes
saying
with
that
a lot
there are
of
different
things.
kinds of people. That's
just-
fine, but it doesn't invalidate the need for intervention.
I'm not saying
like you're
I'm
going to
not
live in
saying-
capitalism.
I'm not saying it invalidates the need for intervention. I'm saying this is like, this place is so antagonist to who you are. That's what I'm saying.
the entire like
The entire world
me
is
being in
this
the UK
place.
is very antagonist to my
Right.
being.
Yeah.
But like I have to be here to be able
I don't
to.
know. I feel like it's very blue skiesy.
What do
Like
you
very
mean?
like, you know, like we all say we come here to intervene. And like that's what our research is basically, right? We
Yes.
all have come here to intervene and do things. But what are we doing?
Well, I'm
Because
doing
we're one
things.
Oh my God, this
person.
got so existential.
No, this isn't like
No,
I'm just
no.
saying, like we're all like one person who wants to make a change, and like, are we? You know, like how like when Franny said his like research, for instance, is a drop in the ocean of like such a big thing.
Yes.
That's how I feel. Like we do loads of drops in the ocean, and we want it to be way more than it is, but it's like not going to be.
It's okay. I understand what you're saying, but even a drop in the ocean is something. Maybe you meet with
When
a lot of.
people are pouring oil into.
Maybe if you meet with a lot of other drops in the ocean, you make like
I
a
don't know.
small wave.
If
I
feel
don't
like
know.
It's a cope. I really do. I always feel like it's a cope. I even think being here is a cope. Like I'm only still here because, you know, I've got a year left now. I might as well. Like that's kind of. But yeah,
No,
I feel like
but
we're not gonna do those things.
I get what
would
you're
say we're
saying
gonna do.
because in the same way there is other, I don't know, feminist researchers that talk
Or, like,
about care
decolonial.
or decolonial researchers
And, like, Palestine,
and then
like-
they go and they do like the least feminist thing that you can imagine
Mm-hmm.
and that exists everywhere. And obviously academia is a hard place to be when you have like values like some sort of values or ethos that you really want to push forward, but also it's a place where maybe they might have more. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. You find other people to talk with. You find other drops in the ocean rather than if you were somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like academia is a place that, like, especially compared to the industry, tells you what industry is. Whereas academia, I think we all think, because we all come in wanting to be better, right? And then I think people believe that they are better in that sense, but then don't, like, I feel like because they're in this place, they interrogate what they do less compared to, like, someone who is, like, a capitalist CEO, whatever, knows they are a capitalist CEO. That's who they are. Whereas an academic person, I feel like when they have these hypocrisies, a lot of the time don't interrogate that they have those hypocrisies because they feel like they are that person. Like, you know, like if you see like an anti-racist scholar, for instance, and then they do racist shit, but they're not going to interrogate the fact that they do that racist stuff because they are an anti-racist
Do
scholar
you
and they
think they're
understand
not
it.
gonna?
I don't think they are.
I think we're
Because
much
when I
more
see some of the stuff
reflective
that they do,
within the university than outside of it.
I
I
don't.
also think so.
I really don't. I really don't. I feel like they're reflective on other people's behavior, but not their own. 100%. Like when I see things and I see the way they speak about things, sometimes I'm like, why would you?
But it's not just academia. Is not just the institution, is it? It's also
Yeah.
people.
That's what I'm talking about.
And for me, it has been a really good way of connecting with other people who want the same thing in the world. And it is a way, I'm not saying it is going to achieve justice, but it's a way of connecting with each other so that you can work towards it.
And form
rather than-
solidarity in a way,
and
right?
form solidarity.
it just doesn't
Yeah.
give that to me. It's for me, it's very disingenuous as an
It
environment.
is. And I want to affirm that feeling of yours and I'd be like, yes, it is. But that doesn't mean that there is nothing out here of
I'm not saying there's nothing
Worth, yeah.
but I think we're overstating what there is. That's what I'm saying.
okay. Us.
Like, yeah, not just us. I think
Okay.
everyone, like we all come into academia a little bit green,
yeah.
expecting the world, and then we realize, okay, academia is not that place that we
No,
thought it was.
yeah.
But then I still feel like we kind of hold on to a hope
Yes.
Yes.
in a way,
I
and I
do,
think
yeah.
sometimes it's like
Yeah.
That's, I don't know.
Very sad.
I am always going to be the pessimist of the group when it comes to these things anyway.
That's fine.
I'm also gonna.
I'm okay with that.
I don't know if this conversation is going anywhere. Probably we need to move
probably,
on.
yeah.
But before we move on, I'm gonna say one last thing. This is like basically what my research is about.
What?
About people
Yes.
finding each other and finding small drops that they can do to maybe not really make change or waves, but like at least come together, at least kind of imagine what life or the world could be like, or maybe do things in the present that like helps us like at
100%.
least be happy and hopeful, right? And if we all decide to lose hope completely, like many times you're hopeful and that's like oh my god, she's like so silly, or like she's whatever, or she's too much up in the air, or like too romanticizing whatever is happening, right? But if everyone kind of stops doing that and chooses to not hope, then there is nothing. Everything will like tumble down.
I will say one last thing.
Yes.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we shouldn't refuse to hope. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like see this thing for what it is and realize it's terrible, and rather than like sit and I guess hope that it gets better, get fucking rid of it so we can do it properly.
But,
How do
like,
you
I
do
think
that? How do you get fucking rid of it?
by not like I feel like we play in it too much and think we can get like make it like a little bit better here and a little bit better there, but it's not gonna happen.
Yes.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when we talk about like, oh, like, okay, like, yeah, academia it's bad, but then there's good bits and I'm like, we're yellow flagging it rather than red. That's how I see it.
Okay.
I think I'm red flagging the institution.
Yes.
And a lot of the things that how the system, it's like for me, it's very systematic, this whole issue, right? It's like how the universities form, and especially in the UK, how much they care about money and like numbers, and they just see students as someone that gives more money in and they don't care about anything. That's like major issues, and I want that to just fall down to the ground and collapse. Like, and I'll do whatever I can to do that. But within this place, there is people that come together, not individuals, but like collectives of people that come together, and they create spaces and conversations that are really cool, that are the places where you can think forward, or you can try to see if you can change part of this institution. And if we don't have the spaces between us, even if they are Marxist spaces, if they're feminist spaces, whatever the colonial spaces they are, then we're not having any conversations. And these spaces don't have to be inside the university, but how society is right now, and everyone having to work for so many hours and having to care for children or other people. People don't have time and they don't have the resources, and academics do have the time and have the resources. So I sometimes choose to associate some people with the system and the institution and be like, these people are like, they don't care about anything. They just care to progress within the system, and that's all they care about. And then I understand that I have the cluster around me of people that we think similarly, and maybe we're not going to achieve to throw the university down or to do something else to stop racism or whatever. But at least, I don't know, we're talking about it. We're trying to make it visible. We're like, I don't know. We're just keep going, right? Staying with the trouble, like Haraway says. Yeah, I don't know.
I still hate this place, and
Absolutely.
that
is absolutely okay.
And a lot of the people.
Okay.
You should.
And that's why I'll leave it. But
okay.
yeah.
Can I say one last thing?
Okay.
Which is basically, I saw this not a meme, but like a post on social media that said that you critique capitalism, you can be a part of the capitalist system and critique it because you're a part of capitalism, you critique it. You know what I mean? Like, it's very difficult to be like...
But you can. I'm not saying you can't be a part of academia and not critique it. I think, however, what I'm saying is not that.
Okay.
I'm saying we should critique it hard as opposed to see it as anything good. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And your life is obviously harder if you critique it.
The same way, like, if you're in capitalism, you critique it, but you don't turn around and say, well, capitalism is good for some of these. Like, do you see what I'm saying? That's
No,
what
I'm saying that you have to go and get out and buy your veggies from the supermarket. And you have to.
I know, you have to take part in the system.
Yes.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying,
like,
but a lot of people take part in that system and solely critique it. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
As opposed to being like, oh, but, you know. Like, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. Next number.
I'm not even going to say that we completely disagree with each other. I think we're just seeing it from different...
I don't know. Okay.
We might disagree. Okay,
Next
let's move
number.
on.
Next number.
Okay. I say a number. 7.
Okay.
Let it be a good one.
A senior faculty member offers you a co-authorship opportunity, but they've been criticized for publishing papers too quickly with questionable quality. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
This is like a reflection of the conversation before.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad you took the green flag.
So I am green and Pragya and Laura are red. Yeah. Let's go.
No, you say why you're green. You're the odd one out.
Of course,
You're the odd one out, so it's up to you.
I chose green because I can't remember the question once.
And now she changes her mind halfway through.
No, I haven't. Oh, because, like, at least they're giving you something. That's just how I saw it. Like, if they've been criticized, you're there also to be like, I don't think we should do it this way.
My question is,
maybe it should have been a yellow, but
in my brain, if they're criticized about this and people know about it and they just spread out papers all the time and they are a co-author all the time, it probably means that the PGR or whoever is lesser than them is the one that is writing the paper and they're just like reading the draft and putting their nice name in the end and shooting it out. Right?
Okay.
And it's a good thing for you maybe in some way because you're gonna get something published more easily because maybe it's not a blind peer review and their name is there and you're just gonna get it published more easy than if you are doing it. But there is a limit of when this is like really bad red flag.
For me, it's the same thing. I think it is labor theft. And I think it is absolutely like, I would be very concerned. I also want to talk about publishing a bit on the sense that I find it very difficult to publish things, like write for publication, because I'm always reading like sometimes I'm reading these horrible papers which have nothing to really say, and it's like really boring and everything. And I feel like one less paper, the world could do without it. Yeah. I'm like, So it makes me feel like, for me, it's like more also the fact that I want to really think about what I'm putting out to the world and like not publish it for the sake of it. But I know it is a part of academic
progression
word
and everything,
and what you do. Yeah.
But then, like, I have questions then, and it kind of leads to what you said, but it came from what you said. Why are they getting published?
Yeah.
Like, isn't the whole point of peer review that it's like really bad, like a really difficult process to get a paper through? So why are they getting published?
I think the reviewers, they are chosen, and you might have a good reviewer that actually puts effort, and you might have a reviewer that is not very good, and the end point is gonna be the same. It either gets published or it doesn't get published. So I think I don't know. Like, everyone knows now that it's part of the system of you moving on upwards. So it also is free labor for the reviewers. So they're not getting paid. They're not getting anything from it, right? They just have to review something. So if someone sent it to me, maybe I chose to give a lot of effort and read it again and again and check their references and check their methodology and whatever. Someone else might not do that at all.
Yeah, it's just weird to me because I've always known them to be very uppity with things. Like, I have only one published thing, and it took ages to get it published, and we had to keep going back and, like, you know, redoing it. So it's like the idea that this person would have a reputation for being terrible at their work, and yet so many, well, I guess it's blind reviewed, but like they keep getting published. There's a problem there.
Might this be a bit more of a sciencey discipline? I actually heard a news today. Is that a word? a news story, whatever, about these academics in America that were like in medicine. And they were publishing about the efficacy of a drug that I don't remember the name and how it's helpful during a specific surgery. And they said they had made a bunch of different experiments and all of that got published, right? And then it seems like it's exactly the opposite.
Okay.
And they had kind of faked the results.
Sorry.
They had kind of faked the results and now they're like suing them and suing the publisher because the reviewers, whatever. I don't remember the story exactly, but I was like, this is
happens
academia.
all the time.
But this happens all the time because especially like
data
when
mining
you have like a
all the time.
sciencey thing that you're just
someone's
spurting out
sponsoring
these
you as well.
results and someone's sponsoring you. And then you just write up what the experiment said and you just shoot it out. And if the data is not right, maybe you tweak it a little bit, right?
It also happens in very like insidious ways. So sometimes you would see like articles saying, 90% of the people think that eating, I'm just making things up, sugar twice a day gives you diabetes or something like that. Or something like that.
I like botched statistics where they like, it's not botched, it's like correct, but it's written in a way that makes it more.
And they would never tell you what was the sample size, where was this happening, what kind of ethnicities do these people belong to. So a lot of it is to also, I don't know, shape some sort of mentality or sell certain kinds of things. Or yesterday I was in this really good seminar in our department where someone was studying inflammation and this entire wellness lifestyle culture that has grown over the past few years, and how like turmeric has been sold as an anti-inflammatory thing. And most of it happens on TikTok and on like Instagram pages where they're like, turmeric, like 50% of people who were given turmeric has felt better after having turmeric or something like that, without any like proper science in that sense. So so that would be my thing.
But another reason I voted green flag was because I didn't see it as, they're exploiting the person. I just thought they were shit at their job. And so you could just like, no. And then like, if you're co-authoring them, you'd be like, this is a little bit shit. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I get you.
I can do my thing to make it less shit.
It can also not be a red flag. I think it might, like if it's genuinely a person that decides to work with early career researchers or PGRs to put out papers to give them an opportunity and they are actually helpful in the process and stuff like that, or your topics align really well, or like there might be a million reasons that this is not a red flag, but the first thing that my head would go ding, 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 like be careful kind of.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Are we ready for the next one?
Yes.
Tiger, do you want to choose your number? We've done
5 because that's my birthday.
Your dissertation committee, so thesis panel, whatever, includes someone who often criticizes your work harshly, but offers insightful suggestions that improve your research.
Ooh.
Okay, criticizes harshly but offers good suggestions.
Yes.
Okay.
You ready?
Is this like your supervisor or someone in like your confirmation review panel or something?
Confirmation review or like
Or
Viva.
like in your Viva.
Yeah.
This is difficult.
Are you ready?
Okay. Yeah, who's countdown?
3, 2, 1. Wait, what is that? You're green. Yeah, I could also put a Grello.
I could also put a beige, but I tried to go green or red. Just for the sake of it.
I chose Grello. Because that's the more interesting one. Wait, which one did you choose?
Green.
Okay.
So I think we all agree here, but let's talk
we all
about
chose
it.
green.
No, I chose yellow.
Okay.
And I was like green or yellow, so we are not far apart. Yeah. Like, and you chose both, so it's a bit like
Well, I like feedback, and I really like even if the criticism is harsh, if someone's engaged with my work in depth and given me good feedback, I appreciate it no matter how harsh it is. And I think I have that sort of relationship with my supervisor too. Some of, like, when she gives feedback, there are like hundreds of comments. And I'm always like, oh my God, in the beginning. But later on, when I read it again, after I've incorporated the feedback, it makes it 10 times better. It makes me think. It makes me go beyond my assumptions. And I think, I really appreciate that.
Okay,
So,
if it's someone in your confirmation review or your viva?
yeah, no, that has happened to me.
Yes.
So, but when we were writing
Same.
the dissertation
Yeah.
for the master's thesis, I was like, I got a lot of feedback for that too. And
Really? Sorry, who were your...
Was it not your supervisor? No.
No, there was an outside person.
No, mine was my 2 supervisors.
Same.
No.
Mine was my supervisors.
For your master's dissertation.
You mean the
Yeah.
SMI one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my first and my second supervisor.
Same.
There was another person for me.
Ooh.
And it was very interesting for me because it was marked well, but it was also full of feedback. So it was very interesting how like both of them can coexist.
I love
Yes.
that. When that happens,
Yes.
I'm like, this is a best case scenario
Yes.
because you engage with my work,
Yes.
you understand that it's a good quality, and you think that it
Yes.
can be pushed to be even better.
Yes.
Like it has a potential to be like
Absolutely.
better
Absolutely.
and give me the feedback so I could
Yeah.
make it better.
Yeah.
Especially if that's in a phase like our master's thesis that was not ending. It was like
Correct.
the proposal for our PhD,
Correct.
right? And you have the time afterwards
To work on
to
it.
work on it. Like you
Yes.
need to work on it, or in your confirmation review after you have time to work on it.
Absolutely.
If it was in your viva, I might be very angry.
Right.
Yes.
Like in my final viva, I'm
Because
not
you've put
angry,
so
but
much
like,
work into it.
come on, yeah. Now, like,
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if did you want to talk?
No, you go
sorry.
and I'll
Okay.
go next.
Yeah.
My other problem is, and this reminds me of something Will, our lecturer in the SMI, used to say all of the time. You need to judge something and criticize something in its own terms.
Yes. Yes.
So if a project is meant to do A and B, and you criticize it about C,
Then
that
it's
is
not a
not
good
meant to do,
criticism.
then it's not
Correct.
good criticism.
Correct.
If this is a qualitative project and you're criticizing my, I don't know, the bias in the selection process, cue your...
Did you see that on
Yes,
Twitter?
yes, that's why I'm bringing that up.
Okay.
Yes,
'Cause that
I
was
saw that
really
on
pissing me
Twitter.
off.
That's exactly what I wanted to say, but
Okay.
I was like, I cannot be bothered right now.
Yeah.
Marisa can give you further context. But if I have a clearly qualitative project with a clear research question and a clear methodology that responds to that, and I'm doing what I said I'm doing, and you criticize me for something that is completely irrelevant, that's bullshit. It means you're not a good academic, you're not a
Yes.
good
Can
I
reviewer,
add to
you're not a
that?
good criticizer.
Can I add to
Did you
Yes.
see the Twitter thing?
Yes.
Okay.
But I want to add to also this happens a lot over language. And I think sometimes people are really good researchers, but maybe English is not their first language. And like people always judge it into how well they have written it rather than what the research does. And I think language can, right now we have like all kinds of AI apps and like all kinds of apps actually that can work on the language. But at the end of the day, if you are a researcher, your work should be more about what is this research doing and
like
what
originality, rigor,
Yes.
critical, whatever
And not
thought
like,
or like whatever analysis.
have I
not-
been able to write it in the most
Yes,
beautiful
like
way?
as
Yeah.
someone that marks a lot of essays of master's students,
Yeah.
I 100% prefer an essay that has a critical point and
Yes.
something to say to
Right.
it, and is not written in the best English because most students are international, than an essay that is like the most boring shit, has nothing
Yeah.
original to say,
Yeah.
and is clearly written, maybe not written, but corrected by AI, and the English is
Yes.
perfect.
And it's flowery.
And it's like, and I'm like,
yeah,
come
yeah.
on. I
elongated
can't,
word.
I can't
Yeah.
tell that you did not write this. You
Yeah.
used ChatGPT and Thesaurus for synonyms.
Or even if they did, but they focused more on how they said it as opposed to what they were saying.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, why did I choose yellow? I forgot what the question was again. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
What number did you choose? 5.
5.
Oh, I chose yellow because multiple reasons. I think I had the same thing in my confirmation review where someone was like saying things that could improve my research, but they were saying it in a way or being a way that I didn't appreciate. I would say it's multiple things. Number one, I have ADHD. That gives you like sensitivity to the way people give you feedback in general. And number two, I just feel like the way you come across is important. Like, it's important. Like, I'm appreciative. That's where the green kind of comes in with it. I'm appreciative that, yes, you looked at my research. You've acknowledged that, you know, I could take it to a place where I didn't realize I could, especially if it's something I really didn't think of at all. I really appreciate being given feedback where I can improve upon the research I'm doing and myself as a researcher because now I've got this tool that I can think about, right?
Yeah.
I don't appreciate your tone. Like, I don't. I don't. Talk to me nice. I don't understand. Why can you not? What is wrong with you? Why were you raised by wolves? Like, that's just like, why can you not?
I completely agree with that.
Why can you not communicate in a way that is
respectful,
so people can hear what you're saying? Because if you're saying something good, sometimes that gets lost in the way you've said it. And so
I also want to add a point because I put up both. I think sometimes academia gets into this Bermuda Triangle of critique. Critique is the only way forward.
Yes.
And I don't think that's true
like
at all.
there's no praise.
I think there's always a currency somewhere that someone is doing. Like, you have to find it. And you cannot say that this entire thing is bullshit. And that has happened to a friend of mine where they were in their confirmation review and they have been told that, you know, you shouldn't do this at all. Why are you even doing it? Or something like that. And I think it often comes from early career researchers, which is also, again, like the really sad thing. Because they also feel this pressure of proving a point that they can critique. And that is like, it doesn't, I don't think it's okay to do that. I think it also breaks people's morals of like doing it completely. Like, they would just think, I hate this person, I'm not going to do it anymore.
Plus, it kind of makes your word, it cheapens your own word. If all you do is critique, it cheapens your critiques. I don't know how to explain it because you're looking for something. That's how it feels like. So it feels like you're not even being genuine in the fact that you're critiquing. You're just looking to critique.
But in a way, I mean? And critique should include the positives as well, right?
Yes.
Criticizing, I mean, we use it a lot in a negative sense, the word, but it should be about being able to read, to understand something deeply, what the person was trying to do, and then be able to understand from your different viewpoint that the person that is involved in it all the time. So it's not your supervisors, it's not you, it's a different person. And they should be able to see both the really positive things that maybe you didn't think about. Maybe there's something about your project that is good and that is like really powerful and you had not thought about pushing that further, or like you hadn't thought about like how you express it and what words to use to express it, right? So I think it's about both things, but I completely agree with everything you said.
It fosters that culture that critique is meant to make my career better rather than this project better. And that is not okay.
That's bullshit.
Like,
that's not okay.
You don't have to prove a point. Like, just.
And then on the other side of things that I didn't mention, where I feel like this is a green flag, is I hate it when people give me feedback in like, was it you who got an email? No, it was Nick. So Nick got an email where they got some feedback, but the feedback was strange because it was like negative, but they were trying to not be negative. That it was like,
like kind of condescending
and like this, like they were scared of them. That's what it gave. It was like, why are you talk? Okay, speak with your chest at all times. You don't have to be rude. But you also don't have to sugarcoat so hard.
No, you don't have
that
to.
Like, so that's why that's the only time I appreciate harsh people when they're like, at least I can say they're living in their truth.
Absolutely.
Sometimes your advisor doesn't respond to emails for weeks, but gives you undivided attention in person during meetings. 1, 2, 3. Duh. Okay. That would have been weird if we had chosen green. Okay.
Okay, my supervisors do this a little bit.
Okay.
Like, they do respond to my emails, so it's not as bad. They respond to my emails, but not with the necessary attention or the attention that I would expect from them, right? So I'm like, okay, please read the things. There is these things that I need to resolve. Please help me. And they respond, but they don't really, I know that they didn't, like the feedback that they gave me, it's not what we were talking about before. It's like, you should rephrase this sentence because it's a bit worthy.
Oh.
Or like, yeah. But I know that they do it because, I don't know, they don't have time and they trust that I'll be able to do it. And I think that's the bad side of my supervisors. That's the thing that I like least about them.
Okay.
But when we are there in person, I know that they're paying attention to me. I know that they're listening. I know that when I really need them to read something, they'll read it. Or when I need help, or if I break down, they'll be there to pick me up, let's say. But it is very frustrating. So even if it was much worse, as it is for one of our friends, that they never respond to my fucking emails, even if they give me attention or don't give me attention, I'd be so frustrated with them. Like, you're literally getting paid an absurd amount of hours to supervise me. So if you're not spending those hours to supervise me and you're doing something else, good for you, but not good for me. Like, don't do that. Like, you're supposed to give me attention. Like, I'm literally paying you to do it. Like, please listen to me.
Yes.
I just want to take it a little bit further and talk about it's not just about the money, but also a responsibility.
I mean, yes,
like,
of course.
You are,
yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of professors or like supervisors actually fail, because when you're taking up a PhD student, you should know that this is work and it's not like just a way of not doing work. Do you know what I mean? A lot of them use it as a way of like, a lot of them have like, I know someone who has 10 PhD students.
Oh, wow.
And that's because so that they don't have to do other kinds of work, because otherwise you would be given teaching or research work or something like that. And I just think that when you are taking someone up, you should definitely, of course, think about that they are obviously paying the university to get this teaching, but also that this is a relationship, you know, and you're taking someone up, you should know that there is a responsibility and accountability that you have to do. And it's just...
And it's potentially their career. Like, if they're doing... Like, if you want to go into academia and stuff, this is your PhD. Like, you have to pass your confirmation reviews, your vivas. You have to grow as a researcher and know what that means. If no one's paying attention to you, how do you grow?
Yeah. But why would they never respond to your emails and then pay really good attention to you in your meeting? So that's the part that I don't understand about this question.
This is where I could change to yellow. I'm not entirely sure. No, actually, no, I'm still red. But I am that person. I am that person to my supervisors.
Okay.
They will email me, I will read the email, and then I'll move on with my life. However, I will go to the supervision and we will talk, like, extensively. I'm just shit at emails. I don't like them. I hate responding to them. I hate receiving them. I even hate sending them. I don't like emails.
I understand.
And I just, no. It's just another medium in which people can bother me.
But it also depends on the power hierarchy, doesn't it? Like,
right, I'm the student, so it doesn't matter as much. Not that it doesn't matter, but like, I'm not taking anyone under my wing. It's the other way around.
Okay.
And you have worse working conditions than they do.
Right.
So there is some sort of like...
Probably to my detriment, can I reframe this question and ask if we were talking about a friend? So this is a friend that doesn't respond your emails, but doesn't respond your WhatsApps, for example. But then when you are with them, you know that they really care about you and that they listen to all of the shit that you have to say and your complaints and your rants, and that they'll give you like whatever advice you need or help you in moving from the one house to the other. What type of flag is that? Because I'm not sure.
To me, that's still a green flag.
Yeah, same.
But that's also because the obligation is different.
And the relationship is different.
Right. You can still be my friend in person and not be a good texter or whatever. That's okay because I know at some level you're still my friend.
Yes.
I think when you're a supervisor, there's
It's
more
your
at
bloody
stake.
job.
Like it's like it's what you're supposed to do. Like you are so much more obligated to be a person for me in more than one way. It's not colloquial, like a friendship, like informal, should I say. It's an actual professional relationship that is dependent on so many bigger things. And I'm not saying that friendship is not important. It just looks different.
Yeah.
And I think there's also the need of clear communication. Like you should be in the beginning be like, oh, you know what, I'm really shit at emails.
Yes.
But if I'm in person, I will try my best to help you out then.
Yes.
Like, I also think a lot of it has the potential to give you anxiety. And that, like, if a person has emailed today and throughout the week you have not responded, then you are going to stay with that anxiety throughout the week.
Oh my God, so
And
much
then
anxiety.
Maybe in person your supervision has gone really well, but only then would your anxiety release.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's short.
And that is bad for the student.
It is, yes.
So, and that has happened to our friend before. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not. Yeah.
On the other hand, a person that while I'm talking does not pay attention to me is like one of my biggest pet peeves ever.
Yes.
Like, if I'm talking to you and you're like, now you're taking notes or maybe you're looking at your phone, because I do that sometimes. I cannot concentrate, whatever. But like, I'm talking to them and they're really not listening to me and not responding to me. That just annoys me. Like,
that's because it's in real time. You can see it.
yeah, you can see it. Like, that's
When
so
it's an email,
annoying.
like, I can't see it as much. It still pisses me off. But
yeah.
as someone who's waiting on multiple emails,
I'm also
it
waiting.
really fucking pisses me off because it's blocking my entire PhD as well. So I'm not even.
I sent like maybe 20 emails this morning. Basically, my schedule was send emails to a lot of different people.
It's
and
just
I
chasing.
need to put it in my Google Calendar. If I don't, I'll not do it because I hate doing it. Like sometimes I put like a task, respond to WhatsApp message of this person because I'm really bad at it and I forget about it. Same with posting on Instagram. Post on Instagram. It's in my Google Calendar, in my tasks. But yeah, I understand that. But yeah, they have a responsibility towards us. And if they can't deal with it, then they shouldn't take PhD students.
Yes.
Do something else.
Yeah, just find something else to do. Just like, I don't know, do archival research and sit in a library the whole day and look at books and don't talk to anyone, please.
Last one?
Yeah.
I'm going to choose this one.
Okay.
Because I read it. Okay, number 10. Your department has a policy that PhD students must present their work at a departmental colloquium or conference, but no one ever gives meaningful feedback during these presentations.
Fuck.
Okay. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
I was shocked. I thought
interesting.
you guys would have done red.
oh, interesting.
Okay,
That
you
is
did do red.
interesting. I did.
Fraggy
do
did rello.
Rello.
I did yellow. Laura did yellow. Why?
You guys should start.
Should we go like this?
I can start, okay. Like, I think it's a really good thing to push PhDs to go to conferences.
Yes.
Because there's people that don't feel comfortable doing it, but you'll have to do it at some point or another. So you might as well get it done, and you need to do it. And if it's within a supportive environment where you're doing it with your peers and whatever, it's a good practice exercise, whatever, right? So I think the fact that your department has this rule that you need to attend a conference in your, I don't know if in every year in your first year, I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's a positive way of telling people do it, and maybe also giving them some funding so they can attend the conference, etc.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, if this conference, so until there I was like, this is a green flag.
Yes.
But now, if this conference is only done within your department and everyone has to attend it, and it's also not done in a way where you can receive good feedback and criticism, or where you can have meaningful conversations with people, etc., then there is a point of doing it that you practice, like presenting, which is a skill that you need to have. But I think these things are completely meaningless if they don't have an element of conversation, of discussion, some space for you to be able to get meaningful feedback from people.
Yes, I agree. I will follow this up with saying you have other presenting opportunities like teaching and things like that, right? Where you are technically presenting to a class of people within your PhD. So that's why I gave it yellow, because like you said, it's green to be able to just practice that muscle of presenting, because it's something that a lot of people don't like to do, public speaking. However, if you're, as somebody who got some feedback that I fucking hated at that conference, that was, in my opinion, meaningless, that's where the red comes in. It gave me nothing. I hope that person has the day they deserve. And
So do you want to say what the feedback was?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
But I got feedback where a person, to me, it just felt bitchy rather than...
No, it was bitchy, yeah.
It was more bitchy than critical. And it was useless. I got good feedback from...
Yeah.
Not feedback, but like questions and stuff from other people. But yeah, something like that just annoyed me. And I feel like if a big part of presenting at conferences, as we spoke about in like one of the last ones, academics, a lot of them are critical. And you need to learn how to receive critique, think about that critique on the spot even, and then dish it back. Or even if you're not going to think of it on the spot, know your like strategy for how you're going to respond to it. Like, are you going to write it down and think about it and come later? Like, what is like? But you need to know how to do that, and the best way is to practice it and get that meaningful feedback. So, if it's not meaningful, you're losing a lot out of it.
In my first year, right before my confirmation review, my department had a small conference like for PGRs, right? And I presented there, and I got like literally zero meaningful feedback, except one thing happened. I presented and I realized that no one understood what the fuck I was talking about, which was a good thing, because I would have gone and done like 90% the same presentation at my confirmation review, and it wouldn't have gone well. So I think even it was meaningless in the sense that there was no interaction or anything. I at least got that out of it. And then because of that experience and how meaningless it was, not for me but for everyone, when we organized the next year like a poster competition, I fought with the department for them to do it in a way where it wouldn't just be a bunch of posters on the walls and then we have the winners and we go home, but there is like a way to facilitate a conversation, to have like questions, or to have people giving peer feedback to each other or something. So it's not just about us signing down, like writing down that for the academic that organized the poster competition, that they did it and put it in their CV and their progression, right? Because they didn't even organize it. I fucking organized it. And that happens a lot, right? They need to put these things in their CVs and in their like review forms, whatever, for them to progress, that they did these things and that they organized them. And many times they're not meaningful for anyone except for your race.
Yes.
But they should be.
And everyone hates to take box X.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pragya?
Yes. So, adding on to that, I think a presentation or a poster or something different than bunch of paper written is a great way of really understanding what you're doing.
Yes.
Yes.
It is one of the best ways, not just because you yourself have to reimagine how you want to present your work, but also you are presenting to real people.
Yes.
And you're not sitting on a computer writing about your thoughts and about your analysis by yourself, but you're suddenly given this responsibility of explaining what you're doing to a bunch of people. And you may fail, but it's a great way to reimagine things about your research. So what I do a lot of times is this is one of the things that really helps me through conferences, and probably the only thing, and that's why the red flag, because I don't like conferences at all. But it really helps me understand chronology of explanation, because I'm doing it to other people. I cannot assume that they know things like caste, things like what a Dalit woman is, or what maternal health is, and what I mean by maternal health.
Yes.
So it really helps me to view it from the reader's perspective rather than from mine.
It also helps me to put a lot of work in. Like, that might just be a thing, but it's like, okay, I want to talk about this thing in a conference. I got accepted, but I never actually finished this thing that I said that I will talk about. And then I have the conference deadline. And then I'm like, okay, I really need to talk
Yeah.
about this with someone, so I might as well just put a push in and bring it to as far as I can bring it before I present it, right?
Yeah.
So for me, like these spurts and these moments, even if it's not a conference, if it's like a seminar or whatever thing that you need to share things with someone, it just always puts me a bit in a productive overdrive, like in a good way.
Yeah.
Like it makes me feel like there is some purpose to the thing that I'm doing right now, and it's not very abstract.
I think that's another thing. So like what you said about the chronology of explanation, I think as well, like on top of that, you have to make it concise in a way that like, you know, your thesis is so many words.
Yeah.
So you have so much time to just talk about this topic.
Yeah.
When you're presenting to people, you usually have like what, between 15 minutes and maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
So you have such a short space of time to tell them everything they need to know about your project. So it tells you what is important, I guess.
Yes.
Like, not to say that the flowery stuff isn't, but it pares your research down to the basics. And I feel like that helps you kind of stand back from it in a way. And sort of take it more holistically than you usually are on your day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, it makes you productive, and it kind of, again, like forces you to look at certain concepts in like such a much more simplistic overview way, because you're like, I need to do this work and I need to do it properly. So let's go back to everything I've been doing and just like
You
look
know
again.
what? Maybe in the end, that's all that matters.
I guess.
I'm not saying that the nitty-gritty and the things that we get really like in depth don't matter. They obviously matter, but it matters a lot to be able to not just summarize your research, but like find ways to communicate it and to tell people and for people to understand why that might be relevant to what they're doing, to their lives, to, I don't know, to whatever, right?
Yes.
Because if you cannot do that, then you just might as well not do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I talk about the red flag?
Yes.
though? I fucking hate conferences.
Oh, is that why you chose? Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, not just that, but I think,
But don't you think you need to know that you hate conferences? Like it's the start of your PhD and they make you go to a conference.
Yeah.
You've never been to one.
yeah.
You would not know that you hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
But,
it's
it's-
good to make a
I don't
PGR
like-
go to a conference.
I don't
No.
like how conferences are structured. I think it is a very alienating space. And I think especially for introverts or people who don't know other people, I think, and unfortunately, I'm not an introvert. I'm kidding. Unfortunately, I've always been to conferences where I've either known someone or become friends with. And I think that's because I can reach out to other people. And that is the entire idea of like networking. But then I think sometimes it can get very cliquey and like only like people who know each other are hanging out with each other. And I've seen other people feel very lonely in conferences and feel very like,
I get that.
and it just becomes like a procedure where like people come, present, and then they go back home.
I don't know to
And
what
that
fucking
is-
conferences you go to, but all the conferences that I go to are so chill and fun, and everyone's like drinking with each other and talking and having fun. And there's like the famous professors and the PhD students like
I've been to
like
one
getting
or
drunk
two
together and
conferences
talk
like that.
Like I don't know, maybe I just choose the conferences that I go to
Maybe.
because I really don't want to
Most
go
of
to
the
the ones
conferences
that
I've
are
been
very
to-
hierarchical.
Most of the conferences I've been to have been very like strict and suited and booted, and like everybody's dressed up with their really like
Suits?
yeah, like
No.
suits and like very like formal dressing, and I hate
No,
how
I would hate
little-
that too.
and how little you get to know someone's project.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're given like 10 minutes
And you have to just shuffle
fucking
Yeah.
explain your entire thesis. And sometimes there are like parallel sessions and you want to go to both.
Yeah.
I can actually write a thesis about how much I hate conferences because that like it just makes me so angry that I can never really connect and like really enjoy that experience. Very recently I've been to one which I've really enjoyed. I recommend it to everyone. It is BSA MedSoc. And yeah, just like after like I've never been to a conference where you present and do all of that and then dance with others after the conference, and I thought it was such a great way to just like let off all that steam, like academics can be fun too, you know.
I feel like you made it sound like an orgy.
Wow. Ew.
Like we danced and we let off like
It felt like that. C got so drunk, I loved it, and she was
always gets drunk.
Yeah. So it was very.
No, but we also got drunk in the conference. And I was like with this lady, right? That she's like a really famous academic. And I, like in one of my chapters, half of the citations are her. And she was sitting next to me. And I was trying to explain what my project is about. And then she drunkenly was trying to give me like positive feedback and tell me to email her about it.
I love that.
And then we just started dancing. And I was like, this is so dope, man.
Yeah,
I don't know,
so
like I have had the situation where I've been in that, like, oh, so chill and but it was also cliquey. It's just that I was in the clique. So
that might be a thing.
And I feel like
I think I usually am in the clique. Yeah,
I'm a part of the problem. For sure. But like,
because you do get those quiet ones who are on the side and they kind of like. Looking on like, oh, these people look like they're
it's
having a
kind
good
of my
time.
personality to go pick those people and bring them in the cliques.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Yeah, it's
That's
usually what I do in. But
but I think I went to this one where like it was like a South Asian conference, and like all the people who were based in UK universities were in cliques, but the international people who came to the UK were very like.
Oh no!
Scattered and like, and it was.
Oh no!
It just felt like I was a part of the
Colonialism.
problem. Exactly, and I was like, this is the worst experience because I'm actively feeling guilty, but also I'm not being able to do a lot about it because like they wouldn't really talk and I wouldn't really. It was just bad.
Yeah.
Should we end the episode and then do like a bonus of one more?
Okay.
After the episode.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Bye.
No, just one thing. Let us know if you liked this.
Yeah.
Because I had also found some other prompts that were more like about social things with other PGRs or like more about like other aspects and not like supervisors and conferences and stuff. Yeah. And I think it's a fun format for us to just talk. So if you liked it, please let us know and we'll do it again.
And tell us if we are green flags or red flags or
yellow.
Like
I don't know if I want to know.
If you're on Spotify, you can comment.
We have 300 followers, by the way.
Yes.
On Spotify? That is cool.
Mad. Why
I know, like,
us?
go do things.
Yes.
Or don't, just listen to us.
Okay. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, bitches.
Love you.
Love you.
Tune in for the bonus.
Yes.
I don't know where we're going to put the bonus.